This I'll be planted out with tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and basil.
Oh,
so
okay.
this won't be planted into until May. You can do early crops, but being that this is so crude, I mean, all I've done, this has been turned once and then forked over. This needs to break down, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and do a sheet mulch on it. So
that's like the
sheet mulch it.
The sod, basically.
Yeah, that's what that is. Totally. And if you scrape sod, you lose so many of your nutrients.
Right.
I mean, that top 6 inches is everything.
Sure.
Some people scrape all that off and then they import a bunch of stuff, and it's like, what's the point? Just break it down. So, and you can do early greens, like all of John's greens right now, which are beautiful from Maple Rock, are all coming out of his greenhouses. But he planted those like through the fall and through the winter. Like if I put seeds in the ground right now, I might get one cutting. So it's actually more advantageous just to use it for propagation. And then these are all the tomatoes under here. Check this out. I rigged this up. I just kind of made a little greenhouse inside of a greenhouse. So it's a total wrap of plastic with more straw for some thermal mass. These like to have like 80+ degrees to germinate, so I created a little microenvironment that's getting hot enough to where they're starting to sprout.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that cool? So some of the early tomatoes and tomatillos are up so far. So this just holds its own heat within here, and this probably gets twice as warm as any as this does. But then this I just do with the row cover with the remay.
It's really warm in here. I was amazed when I stepped in.
I know. It's phenomenal, and I think a huge part of it is like adding thermal mass with the straw. And just filling it. I mean, the more beans you put in here, the more everybody's putting off, oxygen. Essentially, they're breathing in CO2 and releasing oxygen. But so all the artichokes and cardoons, 3 kinds of favas, about 6 kinds of peas, and then there's all the onions, cipolinis, and shallots and leeks. And then the little round leaves are all brassicas, broccolis, cauliflowers, gailon, cabbages, joy choys. And then I just seeded rice today.
Wow.
Yuriko gave me some Japanese rice that one of her nephews grew. So we're both going to try rice on the island. And then behind you, this is the first round of greens.
These are a lot of oriental greens?
A lot of oriental, a lot of Asian greens, mustards, wild greens, early lettuces, tons of spinach. I got my hands on a really old, almost extinct variety, the original Bloomsdale longstanding, that a friend of mine grows down in Oregon for seed. But this will be salad mix, bunching greens, braziers. That'll be 5 beds worth of greens once they're transplanted out. So these just came out of John's cooler. He let me store them in there after I got them from the mainland. So they were at like, I don't know, 45 degrees in the dark for this time. And now I'm breaking their dormancy. I'm putting them in where it's warm, and they'll get opaque light through the bucket. Like if I put them in direct light, they go green, and I don't want that. I don't want to change their chemical composition. So I'm attempting to pre-sprout my potatoes because I want to get them in the ground in a couple of weeks. So I've got Yukon Gold. And these are an early red called Chieftain. And then...
Get some of those fingerlings?
Not quite yet. I'll do fingerlings a little later. But there are fingerlings that are that color, that really pink color, the rose fin apples. And then these are an all blue variety. So when you cut these guys open, they're blue through and through, and look, they're starting to bud out a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw mouse traps.
I haven't had the heart to set them yet.
But they're starting to eat the stuff?
Yeah, you can see here, this is mouse damage. And then for some reason, well, I know why, because they're totally sweet, they're eating the fresh onion shoots too.
They're little rats.
I know. So you're gonna get some attrition. I mean, you're gonna get some, donation to the cause. Just been plugging away otherwise, and lo and behold, I stayed away for 4 days and came back and everything's good. But still, it turns out it is spring out there. But yeah, it's totally coming together. Hold on.